Yo, what up there, YouTube? It's your boy Matrix RC back here with another video, and today I'm going to be upgrading my customers slash 4x4 with the high center gravity chassis, and we're going to be putting a low center gravity chassis on there and get them hooked up. So here we go. Just look forward to it. Alright guys, I'm going ahead and get this thing down. I'm going to go ahead and strip this car all the way down to the chassis. The body to the side. Here. Tray. When you guys upgrade your slash 4x4 with this high center gravity chassis, you're going to need part number 7421. And there it is. You're going to need that. It has everything that you need in there, except for some screws. And what you can do, you can go on Amazon or eBay and you can order some original screws right here. This is for like the Rustler, but they share the same parts with slash 4x4 with a few options of other type of screws, but they all work. So you can go and get that and have some screws that you're gonna need, but you can pretty much use the same screws from here, like for the front section here and the rear section. But for the middle, for these side things, you're going to need some different screws. But I'm just going to go ahead. I ain't going to bore you guys. I'm going to go ahead and get this thing done. This customer has been waiting months because with the holiday and everything, everything's been back ordered on USPS and it's just got crazy. So let me go ahead and get that done. I'm going to take off these wheels and everything and keep on moving. So I'm gonna just go speed this video up and you're just gonna see me work. All right, guys? All right, here we go. I'm gonna remove this, all right, because we don't need this part here no more. And now the front part, we're gonna replace those with the new parts. I'm just gonna leave everything in here right now. I'm just gonna go ahead and do the easy stuff and just swap these pieces on the bucket so it'll be the low center gravity chassis. Also, this would be a good time to inspect your truck for anything that needs to get replaced or fixed or cleaned. So we won't be needing this anymore. forgot to put that on there. So you definitely got to put this back on here before you do anything else. Everything's smooth. Now you just want to make sure that you put the right screws in there, because sometimes if you put the wrong screws or screws that are too long, it will hit the differential and you won't have no smooth rotation. So that's good. Everything rotates perfect. Off. So rear done. Front. Now we got to remove the bell crank system. So let's go ahead and take this part off. You gotta get one of these drills, man. These things are a lifesaver. Make sure this thing has a washer on there. Keep that washer right there on there. Alright. Alright. These called king head screws. So, you guys ain't know what type of screws they were, because I had to go find those things out myself. But we're not going to use this bell crank system anymore. Customers upgraded to an aluminum. So he's got the hot racing bell crank system. The bell crank system is using Hobby Park right here. Now they do come with bearings. Alright, we're obviously going to use the bearings, but there's the part number right there. And I'll read it out to you if you can't see it. It's going to be X0020SPYY3. Alright. Alright, now we gotta assemble this. So to assemble the Hobby Park bell crank, let's go ahead and take it from this one. And you see the difference. We're just gonna set it up the same way. Only reason I'm using these bearings because I know that they haven't been worn or used, other than the ones that came with it look like they are sealed bearings here. I'm going to use these, and I'll put this in a bag for him, save it for him in case he wants to use it again. But I like to use things that came with the car or that hasn't been used, so I know that it's going to last a bit longer than what he's been using these, because eventually he's going to wear these out and then he's going to bring it back in and want to use it again. I'd rather just put something in there that hasn't been used and that's going to last him a lot longer. So let's move forward. So you're going to remove these screws here, and we're going to put them in there. With this, we're going to add just a little bit of Loctite. In here. So where these screws are here, they're going to have a little bit of play. Now to combat that, you can put a shim in there or a spacer of some sort, but if you do that, it's going to be too tight. You don't want it binding up. So they have the right size right there, just so it can move freely. So, but if you feel like doing that to your car, by all means, feel free. Brace back on. Now, if you take a look at this, the hole it's going to be higher, closer to the top part than this part. So, you know, this part goes, it has like a little angle. This one's going to go on the top. So it's going to be going like that. go. There we go. We're going to be using the High Torque 400 waterproof servo. All metal gears. Right there. So make sure it's lined up. Okay. You can shift it around back and forth. Just make sure it's lined up, centered, where these screws here can lay flat. All right, I went ahead and cleaned off the electronics, and going to get this out here. And now let's go ahead and install everything. All right. And let's get the motor mount. Take that off and put that on. And we in there. Now with the like Russell 4x4 or the Ultimate, they have a little space in there. This is using an 11-tooth pinion. Everything is lined up perfectly. I didn't have to make any adjustments with the pinion. Everything looks good. It's lining right up. I don't have to do anything because this was factory out the box. Whoever did it, they meant for it to be like that. Only thing I got to do is just get the mesh. So here we go. Let's go ahead. We're going to use our screw here. Now we are going to put Loctite on this because this is going into a nut. So let's go ahead and put this on the rear since we already got it done. It slides on easily. Easily. Turn the wheel just a little bit and let it fall right in. See that? Bam. All right. Now for the top screws here, they're going to be short screws. And they provided some for us right here. So you got long ones and you got short ones. Short screws top. Also, you can get the fan too, Millennium fan, part number 3340. And it's just snaps right on. And battery free. Nice and secure. Proprietary items from Traxxas. And that's 25. Perfect. Snug fit. Set the drive shaft back in here. There we go. So, move all this other trash out the way. We're also going to put in some hot racing sway bar kits too as well to give it better handling and cornering. It'll definitely help reduce a lot of rollover, and you'll definitely enjoy the car a whole lot more. Also, Traxxas does have a center differential that you can put a center diff in here, and I can show you. I have it on my Rally. And you can see here, there's the way it looks. That's the center differential, different from slipper clutch. And when you put that center differential in, the car handles like a dream. The center differential is definitely good for racing. Not bashing, but racing. It's definitely better. So we're nearly done now. Just going to go ahead and put the side guards in. These little pieces here. All right, got the controller, has a TQI, also with the neutral 50-50 and 70-30. So right now it's set at 50-50. So what we want to do, we want to make sure that our servo, where it says multi-function, make sure that is centered. Should be centered, okay? and your steering should be centered. Like everything 50-50. So it should look similar to that. Multi-function really doesn't matter, you can turn it off, but the steering trim definitely has to be centered in order for your servo to be centered. So let's turn it on. And you know if it's moving, which it is, you're just going to make sure it stays centered. So center your steering trim, and that's your center. That's how you center it. That's it. Now we'll go further into it and getting the endpoints and everything done, but that'll be later after we connect the wheels and have everything straightened up. But other than that, let's go ahead and turn that off. We need to add the servo horn. We also got a hot racing servo horn, which is part number SLF25SH06. Go ahead and put that in there. You can freeze it, pause it. You'll see it right there. But it's aluminum. So we got all metal servo, aluminum arm, and it should be good to go. Should be pretty much like that when you put it on there. Go. Now there's going to be a little tab, little lip here. So you can see that. You got to make sure that is tucked down underneath. So I like to push it out slightly and just snap it down in there and just push it down till it's flush. That's it. Good. You guys see it. And basically, that's it for the Slash. Your Slash LCG chassis is on. That's it. Now I'm going to do a little extra things for them as far as this, but that's about it. Oh, now that we got our Slash low seat LCG chassis put on, everything's plugged in, tuned up. Let's go ahead and put these hot racing sway bars on. All right. So these different colors definitely signifies the thickness and that you want on there. So obviously the silver are going to be the thickest, the blue medium, and the red the lowest. Happy with this car. Also, I'm going to go ahead and space out these shocks as well. You want better cornering, handling, widen out the shocks a little bit. Play with those options. I know what mine's like. I don't roll. So I'm just set his up similarly. Also looked like one of them balls done popped off. Good thing I checked it. There we go. Voila. So for the first one, this side, they are going to be different shapes too. So this side is going on the rear. It's going to go right here. This side is just going to go like this and go right through the little holes. Now they do have little grub screws that you're going to have to tighten down. Made for it. You got your little sunken washer here with your sunken screw. You don't really need to use these, but this is what they provide. You can use any other screw as long as it's wide enough at the end to cover that bar. All you do is just tighten it down. The rear now are going to be inside, so it'll be easier. Sorry, I'm hitting the camera. It'll be easier. Just slide that up in here. You can take the rear off and do this, or take the shock off or something and get in there. But it looks like we're going to have to take off either the link or the shock. That way it can get a drop some more, that it can drop some more in order for us to put this link in. This is what you do. Put your hot racing sway bars on. You just shake that off, just like that. Like this, leave everything in here. There's gonna be a spot in here. It's gonna be right there. Let me go ahead, clean it off so you can see as best as I can. That clay dirt just got solidified on there, but right here is where you want to put it, right there. So while we move this out the way, just show you what the rear looks like. You take this, just stick it right on behind it and through the holes of your sway bar link. There we go. And it's going to rest right in this little grooves. And when you see it, it's real easy to see. So let's get our Now you don't want to over tighten it. Do not over tighten it. If you strip it, it's pretty much useless at that point. You got to go get a rear diff case cover for the rear. So other than that, that's it. Let's go ahead and tighten down the grub screws for the sway bar links. Eventually, I would definitely recommend changing these arms. These are the factory arms or the / high center gravity chassis, but they still work. But other than that, this thing's planted. Let's get the wheels back on. All right. That is pretty low. That is low. Softer in the rear. So I think the next thing he's going to do is upgrade these shocks. Big bore shocks, okay, but some good either Techno shocks. Techno shocks. Oops, almost hit the camera. Will be good. So there you go. Traxxas 4x4 slash LCG chassis. Guys, if you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, and if you want to see any more content like this, go ahead and let me know. And or if you have any questions, please feel free. You know, I'm always willing to speak or answer any questions if anybody has any. I'm not by all means, I'm not a expert, but I can sure enough find the answer for you. And there she goes. Gotten to tighten up the motor mount. And that's it. Let's see the gyro. There's your gyro. Nice. Alright guys, put that back on. Is she ready to go? Ready to go? Sweet. Look how low that is. Man, check that out. What you guys see? Look how low that is. Man, that thing's nice. Alright. Only thing that you're missing is a big old spoiler. Alright guys. Well, thank you for watching. Take care.